Hello. Is that for me? Well, thank you. You gonna eat some more? First time? Wow. Well, good afternoon. You know today's Friday, right? It is Friday. I'm a very quick learner. April 4th. It is so good to see you all. Anybody have an April Fool's joke played on them? I told my wife on April 1st it was snowing like crazy out. She goes, "Really? Are you serious?" Well, she actually played the joke back at me. She made me think I believed her. No, I've given some pretty dumb jokes over my career. You know what? You're right. Keely, you raising your hand? Oh, who am I today? I am Stephen Hammers, the president this year. Y'all are so generous. I appreciate that. Well, thank you very much. We're going to have a great day. We're going to have the invocation by Curry Andrews, pledge and four-way test by Kip Dotson. Let's jump in.
You bow your heads, please. This has been one of Jane's and my favorite prayers for years. And I'd like to do this. Heavenly Father, remind us each day that of all the gifts that you give us, the greatest gift is love. It is not enough to share that love with just those we hold dear. Open our hearts, not to just those who are close to us, but to all humanity. Let us be slow to judge and quick to forgive. Show patience, empathy, and love. Amen.
I'm not Kip, but please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
Republic which stands one nation under God.
and now the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, second, third, and fourth.
Certainly hope so. Our amazing secretary, Jennifer Ruane, if she's in the room. Hey, see if Jennifer, oh, there you are.
Hello. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. So Donna is out today. She'll be back, but we officially did this without her. So everybody, please give us a minute. Oh my goodness. This is my list of gifts, and it's my handwriting that I can't even read. So everybody hang in there. We will do better as time goes along. Let's see. We have two guests. One is from the Noon Rotary Club. He's here to talk about the rodeo, right? If you want to, you have to put money in happy bucks to talk about the rodeo. You know that. And that's later. Yeah. This is David, and he actually brought a potential member for our club with him. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and then introduce the guests he brought. And everybody, be nice. We have a potential.
So my name's David Haas. I've been a Rotarian since 2009. I've been in the Noon Club since 2018. I threw the short straw and am volunteer coordinator for the rodeo. I've left a sheet of paper on each of the tables because we actually need about 190 people a night volunteer. Wow. Used to be 280. They gave me an extra 70 last week. So if there's anyone in this room who'd like to volunteer, have children that might want to volunteer, people they need to volunteer. If you have friends, I'm in business. I shared a sign-up genius with one of your companies. But it would be wonderful. We need a lot of people for parking, for rain or shine. So maybe you need to have a rain jacket. But we also need a lot of people as ambassadors to greet people as they come in. The rodeo actually was right at about $1 million last year.
Wow.
It's a huge fundraiser. We gave away we met grants for about 80 outfits in Middle Tennessee, where it's a really cool event. And for me, the first time I went to the rodeo, what I love is the breakdown Saturday night, because there were about 200 people who were zombies, not talking, no energy, but they all seemed to know exactly what to do. And it was amazing because we finished at 10 o'clock on Saturday night and we out completely by noon Sunday. So it's a pretty big deal. I'm here to introduce Brian Jacobs. Brian and I went to a small Presbyterian college in North Carolina, centuries apart. We met in December. He actually went to high school very close to where my parents used to live. But he has a heart of service. And I think Rotary is a perfect place for people with hearts of service. He works at the Hill Center, so this is nearby. And I did inquire at the Franklin Noon Club, which club going in Brentwood consider. You guys, one hand down.
So, yep, like David said, my name is Brian Jacobs. I appreciate you guys letting me come out today. Originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, and moved here about 2 years ago. And again, just excited to hear what the Rotary is all about. Appreciate y'all letting me be here.
Awesome.
He didn't say, but he was a safety on the best football team Davidson's ever had.
Sheila?
We see that 20 on the table. My guest is Stephanie Easel Myatt, and she is with Blood Assurance, and she'll be speaking for a few minutes today regarding the Blood Assurance to explain what it's all about.
Thank you, Sheila. Good morning, everyone. As she said, my name is Stephanie Easel Myatt, and at every Rotary I've ever been to, I'm asked if I'm related to the Easels of Purity Dairies. I am not, but I did get to meet him at a Rotary meeting once. So I'm with Blood Assurance, and I would just like to thank you guys for hosting your Pancake Breakfast Blood Drive with us next Saturday. It will be at the Brentwood High School gym, as everybody knows, from 7 till noon. And I just kind of want to share a little bit about who Blood Assurance is. We are the prime. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was
have a
speaking
spot for you
separately
later.
Okay. I didn't realize that. So I'm glad to be here today. And I have been visiting many Rotaries. And I just found out recently that you can become a member where you can visit different locations. So I've just moved back I'm a Tennessee native, and I've just moved back from Charleston, South Carolina. So I am excited to be home, and I will be looking for one of those where I can go to different meetings everywhere. So let's follow up. Thanks, everybody.
Zach has a couple guests today.
Yeah, I have Andrew Fitz and Kenneth Stevens. I met Andrew the other night at my real estate meeting, and we hit it off. And they both have their home builders. But as we got to talking, they both have big hearts of service, and they're going to create a podcast where they're going to spotlight the good. So basically finding people in the communities all over the country that are doing really good things and help, raise money for their nonprofit. So they got a big heart. So I was like, you got to come to Rotary. So thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it.
So Michael has a very special guest with him today.
Thank you so much. I've got somebody with me, and I'm not proposing him for membership. He actually skipped out on us a couple of years ago, no pun
You
intended.
might not be able to get back in.
But Skip Hebert is here, and he's not asking you to sign up for anything.
That wasn't part of the deal. No, thanks for welcoming me back. It's been great to see so many friends. I look forward to trying to catch up with many more at the end of the meeting. So thanks.
Awesome. Glad to have you.
Welcome. It's good to put a face to a name too, and your name's in a lot of our records as I've been going through them. And Kip has a guest.
This is Dennis DeBlock. I'm recruiting him as a member. He'll be badass. He'll be good. That's all you got to know.
And then we have Bill Jetter today. He is in our pipeline. I think he's in for orientation in a few weeks. And we're going to give you the mic because after you go through orientation, you don't get the mic until you get on the ladder.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, it's nice to be here again. I've been tracking the free meals and I'm way ahead right now. So looking forward to the club.
Okay. Did I get everyone? Did anybody pass us that I didn't? All guests accounted for. Awesome. There you go. Have a good day, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Happy Bucks. Jim Villers is going to do Happy Bucks for us today.
Is it on?
It's on.
I'm going to be the first to put in. I want to thank Susie and Rod for helping me with this project. This is our pavilion grilling area. I thank everybody who came out and helped play this role. Foundation for giving us money, district for giving us money. So thank you all.
Let me add to Jim's. Don't forget April 25th. Put on your calendar. We will not be meeting here. We'll be meeting at the Granny White Park Pavilion and doing our ribbon cutting for that patio, our 50th anniversary gift to the city. So April 25th, please remember we'll be meeting at Granny White Park that Friday.
I put $2 in. I'm sure some of you have similar stories, but I'm happy to say that my friends that live off Clovercroft in Nolensville, they said the tornado yesterday went right over their neighborhood, but never touched down. So happy there was no destruction, but thoughts and prayers with anybody that may have had some damage, but scary times.
Who else? Wait a minute. We got $20 over here, don't we?
Wow.
We never. We don't either.
Oh, okay, I'm putting 5 in. I've got 2 things. One is my daughter, Savannah, and her husband. He got a great job offer moving to Louisville, Kentucky. That should be sad, but it's only 2.5 hours away. But it's a fantastic job for him as a real estate investment CFO, and he'll go from 13 employees to 200. So it'll be a challenge, but I'm really excited for him. And I'm happy Stephanie's here, and I'm excited about you learning about flood assurance because our sign up is a little weak right now. So pump up the sign up. That'd be great.
I'm happy at $5. I'm happy for my University of Tennessee Chattanooga Moccasins. Won the NIT tournament last night. They are national champions in basketball.
Wow.
Who else? Who else?
I'm happy that our emergency warning system works so well.
No kidding.
I'm happy that Dennis DeBlock is here, but I'm more happy that Tucker, stand up. You're looking at a guy who is recognized as Nashville's best 30 under 30 this week.
Wow.
So congratulations. That's really great.
Who else is happy? I'm happy for a couple of things. One is the pavilion plaza being built. I think it's a great thing. Jim had talked to me about it many months ago. I'm glad to see it coming to fruition. The other thing, I'm actually kind of sad because I'm here for the wrong week. Mike pointed out that had I been here next week, I could have been a clown again. I miss that. You're always a clown in our heart. Who else? Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, couple announcements. The Owls Hill Sanctuary pickup is canceled due to the rain and floods, and it's just too nasty. So we're not going to have that tomorrow. So maybe at some banks will figure something out in the future, but for obvious reasons, that's been canceled. Sarah, why don't you come up and talk to us about Pancake Day, which is next weekend. It's on a Tuesday, right? Okay.
All right, Skip Hebert, it is fabulous to see you here with us. I'm so glad to see you. And you have my personal invitation to come be a clown next Saturday from 7 to 11:30 if you would like. We'd love to see you. So hi, everybody. We are getting ready to have Pancake Day next weekend. We are so excited. On everyone's tables are the Pancake Day sign-up sheets that are the actual assignments. So take a look at it, look at your assignment and your times. We are asking that everybody get there about 15 minutes before your shift. We are going to try something different this year, we hope. Our wonderful Jennifer Ruane is helping me that we may be doing the scan-in for our assignments. So we kind of keep going with what this is. So just bear with us if it's a little chaotic. So just wanted to let everybody know. And we are looking forward to seeing everyone there. You will receive an email from Julie either later today or first thing of the week that'll have the same information. Thank you.
Okay. Are they just outside there? Yes, please put a sign in your yard. That'd be great. They're right there in the back. Definitely do that, especially if you live on any kind of busy street whatsoever. Great. Sheila, will you come up and introduce Stephanie real quick? Stephanie's going to talk about our blood drive, and then it'll be great.
Hi, I'll just introduce Stephanie. You already know who she is. And I just, she's here just to explain because some of us, some people didn't know what blood assurance was. And so this kind of gives a little bit of explanation of how good they are.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to start by saying at the pancake breakfast, there will be a blood drive also during the pancake breakfast. And on every table, there is a flyer that has a QR code that you can sign up. I'm really here more today to talk about blood assurance, who we are, what we need, why we need it, and brainstorm about how to get there afterwards if anyone has. So blood assurance is now the primary supplier for all Middle Tennessee hospitals, except for the St. Thomas system. We are the primary supplier for Williamson Health, Murray Regional, Vanderbilt, and all of the TriStar hospitals, everything in the area. We are now the primary supplier. We are the secondary supplier for St. Thomas, so we do service them as well. And a lot of people don't really know who blood assurance is or how this came to be. And about a little over 50 years ago, blood assurance was created to assure blood was at our local hospitals as needed. We're based out of Chattanooga, so we are a regional blood center. That is, we do collect and distribute primarily in Tennessee. We go a little bit into North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, but the majority of our collections and distributions are right here in Tennessee. There were a lot of hospital orders for many years that were being shorted. If 100 were ordered, the hospitals might get 75. And we are very proud to say that we fulfill at a 97, 98% rate every month. So I actually worked for a very large competitor for almost 20 years, and I moved right here in the Nashville area. I moved to South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, so I could be near the beach in early retirement. And I was actually recruited to come back to Tennessee to help with the brand recognition for blood assurance. And that was really hard for me because I have a lot of friends that work for that organization. And through much thought and prayer, I came to the realization that that organization doesn't need blood and blood assurance doesn't need blood. Local patients in hospitals need blood, which is why we need your help and your support. Right now, in addition to the pancake breakfast, we are looking for sponsors. So out on the table, you will find two different things. One says give local, save local, and it shares the hospitals, some of the hospitals that we service. On the back of that is a QR code. If you are part of a church or a school or a business that has 100 or more employees that would be willing to work with us to sponsor a blood drive, we would be most appreciative if you could call me. I also have business cards out there. Related to the blood drive this coming week, as Sheila said, our signups are a little light right now. Before I left this morning, we have a total of 100 appointments available, which is fairly close. You guys have collected a lot more than that at your blood drives in the past. We only have 7 people signed up right now. And just to kind of give a little bit of how important those appointments are, every appointment represents up to 3 patients who might receive blood products, which also means every empty appointment means up to 3 patients we might not be able to provide. So we strongly encourage appointments because it does help you get through the process faster. If everybody shows up at once and they don't have appointments, it creates long wait times and so forth. So to help us better service you, we do ask that you try to schedule an appointment. Now, the big thing is, why is it important to donate blood? So I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and I would really like everybody to participate. I would like you to raise your hands really high. I can't because my shirt comes up too high today. Sorry. But I'm going to do like this as an example. I'm going to ask 2 questions. And if the answer is yes to the first question, raise your hand, but keep it in the air, because if the answer is yes to both hands in the air, okay? I want you to think about people that you care about. Your spouse, your best friend, mother, father, grandchild, child, whomever, people you care about. How many of you in this room know someone who's ever had major surgery like open heart surgery or been in a major car wreck? Please raise your hand really high, not like me, and keep it up real high. Same group of people that you care about. What about cancer, sickle cell, or leukemia? Okay, if you've got your hands up, raise them really high so everybody can turn around and look at all the hands in the air. Now wave them like you just don't care. Guys, that joke doesn't do very well with the youngins these days. But in all seriousness, the reason I ask those questions is because blood assurance does not need blood. Patients in local hospitals, like those for which we raised our hands, need blood. My aunt was the cheer coach at Richland High School in Linville for many, many years. She used almost 250 units of blood during her treatment for leukemia. And if that wasn't enough, she had O positive blood like her father, and all of us have A positive blood like her mother. We could not even help her. You never know when your loved one is going to need it. And if you wait until they need it, you may not be able to help them. So it's our community responsibility to give blood in the community. I'm going to ask one more thing because you did say I had a little bit more than 5 minutes. It's another interactive exercise. You guys didn't know you were going to have exercise today, right? If you have ever, and I'm going to participate as well, so when my answer becomes no, I'll skip down. If you have ever donated blood, even once, please stand up. Woo, look at all these people. Yay, thank you. Remain standing if you have donated blood in the last 12 months. Ooh, we lost a lot of people. We still have quite a few up. Remain standing if you've donated more than once in the last 12 months. Yay, we still have at least 4, 5. What about more than twice? Okay, this gentleman has donated the most. You may wonder why I do that silly exercise. I do it to share with people how important it is that you donate as often as you can because blood products expire. I asked about the car wreck or the open heart major surgery. Traumas can use up to 100 units of blood if there is a trauma situation. And they are mostly red cells that are used. They only live 42 days. Plasma, burn victims use plasma. It can be frozen fresh up to a year, and we rarely have plasma shortages. Platelets. Cancer patients are our #1 users of platelets. Remember my aunt, almost 250, and we couldn't even help her. They only live 5 to 7 days. So if you have O negative blood out there and you're hounded like crazy to donate blood, it's because we have less than, right now, we are in an emergency appeal. We have less than 1 day supply of blood in almost all of our blood types, which is why we really need your help. not only to sign up to donate at the pancake breakfast next week, but we are looking for partners to help us as we're growing as a community to meet the local community need. Again, at front, I've got 2 flyers that you can sign up about helping. I'm going to stick around to answer questions that anybody might have. I'm going to answer the 2 most popular ones. Most people think they can't donate because of blood pressure, diabetes, you know, heart medication. As long as you feel well today, you can donate unless you're taking antibiotics or blood thinners. And lastly, mad cow disease with military travel used to be a deferral. It is no longer a deferral. I've gone a little over my time, so if anybody has any questions, I'll be out front afterwards. Thank you, guys. Please sign up.
Thank you. We got 30 minutes. This next speaker is a special guest to our club. He's amazing. He's been in charge of our golf tournament for several years. The All-American, All-Star, Larry Kain. Come on, let's give him a round of applause.
Kick Curry Andrews in the foot. I have to say this, y'all, and I'm sorry. Skip, you mentioned when you were a clown here, and that was one of Sue's favorite things. She loved being a clown with you. Cool. All right. It's my 9th year to run this golf tournament, and we're ready to go. It's our biggest fundraiser. And so I'm going to repeat some stuff that I've used in prior years. So those of you who've been here for 9 years or 8 or 7 or 6 have seen a lot of this, but it's the way it works. And I'm not going to let anybody forget the way it works because it's been very successful. Tell you how it started in 2016. I sat on a fundraising committee, and we were trying to find something to raise money for the club. We went through a lot of things, and we decided on a golf tournament, primarily because the Franklin Morning Club had a hugely successful golf tournament. And I met with their guy and learned how he did it and what he did. And I had run a number of golf tournaments previously, so they awarded me the honor of running our golf tournament. So that was in 2016. Prior to that, to fund our foundation, speaking of Pancake Day, we all had to buy $200 worth of Pancake Day tickets, right? And we gave them away. That was one of our fundraisers. If you call it a fundraiser when you give the money from the club, I don't know if that's a fundraiser or not, but we called it a fundraiser. We also gave on our annual giving to the foundation. So the foundation was basically funded by us. We wrote the checks, That was the way it worked. And we wanted to change that. So we thought maybe with a fundraiser like a golf tournament, we could do that. 2017, we had our first event. And prior to that, Mike Walker was the president of the foundation. He asked me, he said, Larry, how much money can you make in this golf tournament? I said, well, it's our first one. People don't know what they're doing. I said, 25,000. He said, 25,000? I said, yeah. And I thought he was going to fuss at me. He said, that's awesome. I said, oh, good. Yeah, 25,000. And so he thought that was spectacular. We made 33,000 that first year. So Mike was elated and said that was just spectacular. We'd never had any money come in like that before. So that's basically how we got started. Some people may ask me, say, now, here we are talking about this on April the 4th, the tournament's September the 8th. That's 5 months from now. Why are we starting so early on this thing? Because now, between now and September the 8th, there'll probably be 100 golf tournaments in Nashville, Tennessee to raise money. Literally. When you get into April, May, June, July, there are 4 and 5 tournaments a week all over town. So we're going to be competing with people who are asking for money for the same thing we're asking money for. So we want to get out there early, April, May, and get our calls made and get them before these other tournaments kick in, because there's going to be a bunch of them, and a lot of them are more expensive than we are, and a lot of them are cheaper than we are. We're kind of a middle run tournament as far as the amount of money we charge for things. So that's the reason why we're starting now. So in 9 years, you'll see, I'm going to show you some, I'm going to blind you with numbers because the banker in me's got to come out here. So you're going to see some charts in just a few minutes with a lot of numbers on it, but you'll see what our tournament has done. And so I'm going to make a few comments here about why our tournament does well. Number one, we have a very good cause. People like Rotary. They like our Rotary because we give our money back to our community. It stays here. They like our Rotary because we give 14 scholarships every year to high school seniors in Brentwood and Overton. So it's all local. They can relate to that. An organization, a fundraiser for a large charity is hard because you don't know where that money goes. It goes to a great cause. The American Cancer Society has a great tournament. I play in it every year. It's a great, I don't know where the money goes. Somewhere in the American cancer billion-dollar world, our money goes right here in town, and people like that. And they know that. So that's number one reason. Number two reason, on the golf course, we play fast. And I've designed the tournament for that reason. My tournament plays in 4.5 hours. Is that fast? And my new Lexus I got is really good. I need to tell you all about that. So, yes, 4.5 hours for a scramble golf tournament is very fast. A lot of tournaments go 5 and 6 hours, literally, I promise you. And we're not going to do that. We've never done that. And I set it up that way. I have 6 par 3s, so there's shorter holes. We keep everything moving, and the players like that. They appreciate the fact they can come out there and they know you're going to get home by dinner time. So it works like that, and that's great. We have great food. Every day we have a lunch, and then we have a buffet afterwards, and we have great food, so they know they're going to eat well. We have great player gifts. As you know, our gifts every year have been a $50 gift card to a local restaurant to every player. And that came about because I asked a good friend of mine who played in a lot of tournaments what was a good gift back in 2017. What was a good gift to give to players? And he thought about it for a minute. He said, man, every tournament you get a shirt, you get balls, you get a hat, blah, 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 all this stuff. He said, why don't you get something that the players can take home and use in their family with their wife or their husband? I said, that's a good idea. He said, what about a gift card to a restaurant? They can take it home and go out to eat. I said, signed up. So that's what we do every year. Players like that. We have gift cards from all over Brentwood. Every restaurant I call on gives us gift cards. And so it's a pretty inexpensive gift because they give them to us. And number two, we have a lot of them to choose from. So that's what our players get, and they like that. And the last thing we have very friendly workers and staff. Our people man it, thanks to Susie Lindsay. We had 33 workers last year at the tournament, and the tables and everything that's manned by our staff of members is super friendly, just like it is here out front. So, and players appreciate that. They feel like somebody's looking at them and talking to them, and that's what we want. So, whether you solicit one sponsorship or 24 sponsorships or no sponsorships, the event belongs to us. It's ours. It's our club's deal. We determine how successful it's going to be. If we don't raise the money, we're not going to be successful. So it's up to us to do that. We decide how much our BRCCS is going to make, and you'll see that in just a minute. You can hate it or you can love it. It's yours. Okay. You may not like golf at all. It's not a golf tournament. It's a fundraiser. Remember that. To put it, I wrote this down, to put it in Rotary language, and this is where my buddy Jim Viller is going to come in. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Yeah. Just come to our meeting when we give out our scholarships or when we give out all of our major grants and see how that feels. When we have people come up here and we give them $10,000. Feels great, right? What we want to feel. Lastly, before we get into these charts I want to show you, I mentioned every year, and I'll do it again this year because they beat what they did their prior year, is our A team, which is comprised of Mr. Andrews, Mr. Tanksley, and Mr. Kaplan, who's not here. Oh, there you are. I look. I sat right there and looked for you a while ago saying, is he here? No. So anyway, so there's our A team right there. they're classified as that because early on in the tournament, the three of them individually raised more money a lot of times than teams did, our teams that we're going to talk about. So I made the A team up, and the A team is not a member of any other team, Rotary team. They are their own thing. Last year, the A team, those three guys, raised $47,600. You'll see their individual breakouts. No team has ever beat them. They hadn't even come close. I have a special thing. I tell all my team captains, I say, if you beat the A team, we'll have something very special for your team. But nobody's ever come close to doing that. Every year we identify 5 major sponsors or 5 major partners who we benefit with the tournament, and those 5 get $10,000 each. Do I have that up there? I thought that's when you wanted me to. Oh, if you got to do all that, don't do it. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So there you see the 5 nonprofits that our foundation has chosen to be our major partners this year: Brightstone, Entryway, Narrowgate, Brent Williamson County CASA, and New Hope Academy. Each one of those will get $10,000 from our club from the golf tournament. They will also have displays at our Pancake Day, and they will probably also have displays at the golf tournament. So they appreciate doing that. They like to get out and do those kind of things. So that's our 5 major partners for this year. Now, we can go back here. Okay, here is last year's, just so you can see it, fundraise individually. And of course, you can see at the top of the list there, Mr. Andrews at $28,300, 12 sponsorships. He does have one major $15,000 sponsor in there that he gets every year. So thank you, Curry, for that. Despite what you said a while ago, and I asked you something. Jared Tanksley had 32 sponsorships sold last year. 32. Yeah. 11,000. And you see Michael Kaplan's right down there at 8,100. Tom Carr snuck in there last year and got 11,200 for his team. Obviously, his team ran away with the team last year, but 11,200. And you can see on down the list all the ones who contributed at least $1,500 last year, each of our members. We thank them, especially at our meeting in October of last year. But I just wanted to show you those numbers once again so you can see, my goodness, there's 30 people in our club that raised over $1,500. That's awesome. And it is awesome. So now let's take a look at some history of our tournament. This is where I said I'm not trying to make you cross-eyed with numbers, but I do want you to see some things that we've got. I can't stand it.
Okay. Didn't bother anybody at this table. So historically, here's what we've had. The gross income by the tournament each year, starting in 2017, and our BRCCF contribution. You can see last year we had a gross income of in BRCCF $166,270, and we contributed $124,465 of that from the golf tournament. Yeah. This shows you where the money was spent for those 7 years, starting like 19. I didn't put all of them up there, but where the BRCCF spent their money and how much of it was raised by the golf tournament each year. And you can see early on, back in 2019, we were at 70 versus 120, and now we're up to 158 versus 124. So we've gotten more and more a piece of that pie, and given the ability of the BRCCF to reach out and give people funds. Just says the funds received come from the golf tournament, the club member annual fund drive, Pancake Day, and Rotary District grants. This is just some numbers from the golf tournament itself. I just want to point out a couple of them. You can see at the top, the hole sponsors when we first started were huge, because that was about the only thing that people wanted to sell was a $350 hole sponsor. They didn't care too much about trying to sell the bigger sponsors. And you can see what's happened through the years. Those major sponsors have now climbed to 103, and our whole sponsors were 102 last year. So major sponsors are growing every year, and that's got to continue to happen. Everything else, I point out one other number there that I don't like, and that's the one in red, the members participating. Last year we had 74 members participate in raising funds for our tournament, or our fundraiser, and that's 74% of our membership at 100. So a little disappointing there. If you go down to the bottom, second to the bottom line, there's a sponsorship from non-Rotary. This is where we've gotten money from outside of the club. We had 147 sponsorships that were not club related. That means it wasn't owned by a company. Company wasn't owned by a member. Member didn't give their own money. It came from something totally unrelated to Rotary. So that number you can see is pretty well grown over the last 3 years, especially. So we're doing pretty good there, with the exception of the members participating. So why do people buy a sponsorship in a golf tournament? Number one, they're friends or associates of the individual asking. They don't really care what it is. It's because John Kraft asked them, and John's a good friend of mine, and I want to help John out, so I'm going to buy his sponsorship, whether it's a big one or a small one or whatever. It's really based on relationships. Second reason is they like and believe the cause, which we talked about earlier, the Rotary Foundation, which makes our tournament so good. We have a great cause, and people want to support that. And then the last thing they do is they want advertising. You'll have people say, well, what's my sign going to look like? It's really important to me. Okay, that means it's important to them, but those are in the minority. Most people give these sponsorships and buy these sponsorships because they're supporting the person asking, not because they're worried about their advertising. It is advertising, but it's not advertising. So. Club goals are the same way just about every year. We want to have a safe and fun event, create excitement and great memories for sponsors and players, and we want to make them want to be involved every year. And we do get a lot of return players and sponsors. We want every club member to be responsible for $500. 52 members did that last year. That's 53%. You can determine if that's good or not. 16 members sold one whole sponsor only for $650. That's fine. That's not 500, but that's what they sold. And then 70 members, actually 74, that number's wrong. 74 members did sell sponsorships last year. So we can always improve, and that's what we've got to do to make a little bit more money. Our goal this year is to have 95% of our club members participate. That's 95 members. That's 20 more than last year. I'm going to keep bringing that number up to you. And the bottom line is we want to make $130,000. We made 124 last year. I just picked 130 because it sounded good and it's even. I hope we make 150, but 130 is our goal for next year. So let me throw some things out here that I've heard in the last 9 years doing this. Is I don't, Larry, I don't play golf. Well, you don't need to play golf. We're not asking for golfers. We want your support and contact the event. I don't know anybody that even plays golf. Well, it doesn't make any difference. This is not about the golf. It's a fundraiser. It's about people you know. Larry, I just don't know anything about golf, period. Well, so what? This is a relationship. It's not a game. We're not worried about your knowledge of golf. I don't know anything about golf tournaments. That's why we have a committee. You don't need to worry about the tournaments. I can't sell sponsorships. I don't understand them. Heard that before. You're not selling it. You're asking folks to support the Rotary Club's community efforts. Your list of sponsorships explains itself, and you'll see that in a minute. I don't know anybody I can ask for support. That's the really weak one. We're definitely going to help you with that if you have that excuse. This is the list that I love. You've had it every year. You've got it in your package on your table. We'll talk about it in just a minute, but this is a list of where your sponsors come from, and it's everything you can think of. I laugh and tell it every year. The bottom one on the right, rich guy who likes you. Guess what? We had 2 big sponsors from that last year, and 2 the year before, because that guy's got a lot of money. His buddy had a lot of money, and his buddy wrote him a check, so it works. He just asked, right? The rest of those are all pretty normal things. If you read that, you'll know somebody on that list. You'll know a lot of people on that list, and all those are good candidates for our sponsorships. And we'll go over that list again in just a minute. You know, we break our club up into 10 groups, 10 teams, and here are our team captains for this year. You know, most of these people. Tom Carr was the #1 team last year, thanks to Tom's effort. So that's your team captains, and as you see when you open up your package here in a little minute, you'll see whose team you want. We had a draft 2 weeks ago, and they drafted all the members of our club onto their team. This will be your contact person. If you need questions, you don't want to bother me, you want to call them. They'll be the person to contact you to see if you're selling or what you need help with, et cetera, et cetera. So we have this every year, and in fact, all 10 of these were our same 10 captains from last year, which is a very unusual thing to happen. Everybody wanted to do it again, which is just wonderful for me. So let's let a round of applause for our team captains. They do more than you think they do. This is I'm going to look at real quick at our golf website. That's the opening page for it, and it's put on by the okay. So there's when you open it up, and there's a lot of information in here. Hit that register now. Oh, hit that register now button. So when somebody goes on here, they can hit that, and they can scroll down, and there's all of our sponsorships on here. If they're sold, they'll be marked out. If they're available, they'll be open. There's one that's our scoreboard sponsor has been sold, and our prize sponsor, and our lunch sponsor, and our scorecard sponsor, and our dinner recreation. No, wait a minute. Our dinner recreation has not been sold, but all the others have been sold already. So anyway, that's all on the website, and with a lot of other information about the tournament if you need it. So use the website. It's on our club site too. I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. So it's on there. Okay, good. I learned something. Thank you. This is also in your package you're going to get. It's our list of sponsors, and I'll have this pretty well updated all the time as sponsors are sold, and I'll get it to your team captains, and they can get it to you. But it's a list of all of our sponsors, and we sold every one of them last year, and I anticipate we're going to sell every one of them this year. Nothing special, or it's just normal golf type stuff that you see at tournaments. And you know, just so you'll know, like you're looking here at the scorecard sponsor over here at 1,500, or the awards party at 1,500. I got invited to a tournament yesterday by a school here in town that you all know, and their lunch sponsor was $3,000, and their dinner sponsor was $3,500. The player fee was $500. So we're not expensive. We are, like I said earlier, we're kind of middle of the road, and so don't be embarrassed or think, oh, I hate to ask you for this $1,500, but that's not bad at any of these prices. I can promise you that. I've thought a lot about increasing some of them. I increased a couple, but the rest of them I left them alone because they worked last year, and I want to stay with it. So anyway, you'll have this list in your hands in just a few minutes. Okay, I want to introduce you all to a new venture for our tournament this year. We're going to have a silent auction. And we've talked about doing this in the past. We just never did it. But Perfect Golf Events, who I work with to get our tournament put together, runs a silent auction in connection with the golf tournaments. We didn't do it last year. They wanted me to. We're going to do it this year. Doug Wright with our club, who's on Zoom with us right now. Doug couldn't be here today. Doug Wright has agreed to take this on. The potential for this is unlimited. They have a wonderful program. Doug has some experience with running silent auctions, and so he knows a little bit about it, and he tells me that what they've told him about it from Perfect Golf is awesome, that we can really do well. So I don't know what this means to us. I don't know if this means $10,000 or $50,000 or what it's going to be, but it's going to be totally separate from our golf tournament. Doug will make a presentation to you guys sometime in the next month or two about it. We won't start that until
a month or two before the tournament, I guess. And it'll be totally separate from the golf, have nothing to do with that. But we'll use a lot of the golf contacts to get them on there for the silent auction. So pretty excited about this. I think it could substantially increase our income. And like I said, it's new. We'll be interested to see how Doug does. I really appreciate his help. Now, look on your table. Get your folder. Everybody get a folder. So as my son, who I love dearly, and you've heard Chip talk here before, my son says, well, Dad, nobody wants paper. What are you giving them all this paper for? You know, that's old school. That's as old school as you can get. I said, well, but here's the thing, Chip. If I send it all this to them in an email, it'll be there and they'll know where it is for about a week or two. And then a month later, they'll be looking for where's Larry's email to have all the information about the golf tournament. They won't be able to find it. So this you can put somewhere. Hopefully you won't lose it. Put it somewhere where you can find it. But what's inside of this? If you open it up on the left side, there's just an information sheet. So if you go, now when is the golf tournament? There it is. Where is it? There it is. You know, who are our sponsors this year? There it is. There's your little information sheet about the golf tournament. Behind that is what you're all looking to see is your team list, the chart of all the teams, whose team you're on. So find your name on there. Everybody scrambling, find your name. You'll see your team captain, and your team captain will be in touch with you soon about what his plans or her plans are for you. So that's in there. On the right-hand side, you've got your sponsorship list. And this is good. This sponsorship list is good through today, because if somebody sells a sponsorship tonight, it's out of date. And so we'll keep it updated for you as best we can. Keep it to your team sponsors. It'll be on the website. But here's all the sponsors that we have. So you can look at that, pick out the one that you think you can sell or you want to buy, and let's go ahead and get that going. You can see the ones we've sold. We've sold 8 sponsors so far. And a lot of these are just repeat people who we had last year who called me or contacted me and said, hey, I want the same thing I had last year. So we got that. We did pick up a new sponsor. I won't even tell you who it is the other day that I don't have any idea how they know about our tournament. It's somebody here in Brentwood, and they bought a sponsorship, and they don't have any connection to our club. The guy that bought it, I've never heard of. So where he got the information even to go to the website to buy it, I have no idea. But anyway, that's kind of cool. I wish we got a whole lot of those, but it was just really, I've never had that happen before. I'm sorry? Why you asked that? Huh? Yes, it was. Was that you? Michael, good job, man. Yeah. Private school, Brentwood Academy. Behind the sponsors is a sponsorship agreement. You can use it if you want to. That is really old school, but people do. I get these every year filled out from people. So if you want to use that to get somebody to sign up, you can. And then behind that is the sponsorship list. And I can't say enough about this list. If you're wondering about, well, who can I call on? Look at this list. There is not a name on here that you won't know. And if you stop and just think about it for a minute, it makes sense for you as a friend, as an associate, as a client, whatever your relationship is, to ask them to help support our club. You're not asking them to help with the golf tournament. Remember that. You're asking them it's a fundraiser that helps our club and our foundation, which does what? Gives scholarships and grants to local companies. That's your sales pitch right there. It works. Yep. All right. Yep. Oh, Jared. Yeah, one of the best sources I've always thought for if you own a company or run a company is your accounts payable list. It's who are you doing business with, and who are you paying to? You're paying to them, let them pay to you. Yeah, Bill. Steve.
One thing we figured out last year, we had a couple people that had to think
I'll repeat for the people online. Don't be afraid if somebody has a number in mind. For example, let's say somebody wants to give $1,000 to the club, but they want it to be that sponsorship. They want to have that imagery out there. Don't be afraid to mix and match two 500s or a 750 and a 250. Be creative to get to a number to raise the funds.
Yeah, and I'll repeat, I'll back that up. I can be real creative. So if you got somebody that's got some money and and we don't have a sponsorship, just call me. We'll figure out some way to get that money. That is not a problem. It's getting close to end time. I want to end on two real positive things. For those of you who've been here, you know what this is. For Bill and the others who've never been here, you see the just ask. That's the whole key. That is just ask. Several years ago, Jared had 2 or 3, 4 good years in a row, and I asked him in this presentation, I said, Jared, come on up here. And I said, why don't you tell everybody kind of what you do to have this success? And Jared stood right over here, and he said, true story. He says, I just asked. I said, that's it? Yeah, I just asked. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So he just asked, what did you sell last year? 20 something, 30 something sponsorships last year. So it works. It works, right? Yeah, Curry, it works, right? So, and that Volvo membership I just got was, so anyway, just ask, that's a big thing. Once again, we're not asking you to write checks. I'm not standing up here asking anybody to write checks. If you want to write a check, that's fine. We have a lot of people that do that. I buy a sponsorship myself every year, and I will continue to do that. So do that. But let's get out and get other people involved. I've got one little quick video here. You've seen it before, but it's just worth watching. So
I'm out here at Andrew's Cadillac. I heard the A team was meeting today, and I want to find out what they've got going on. I hope I can find them somewhere out here. Oh, here they are now. Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, we're just getting a game plan together.
That's good.
Year.
You remember how much y'all sold last year?
Oh, about $21,000. I think it was more than any other team.
That's right. That's awesome. How about since the tournament started, how much have you sold?
I think we sold close to 65,000.
Yeah.
But we don't want to sit around and reminisce. We got things to do.
Good.
Talk to you later.
All right, buddy. We'll get out there and sell them, man. Good luck today.
Well, we're going to work our pants off to try and exceed what we did last year.
Excellent.
Have a good day, Larry.
Yeah, you too. Go get them, guys.
all right, that was obviously several years
I'm out here at Andrew's Cadillac. I heard the A team was meeting today, and I want to find out what they're going.
because they have obviously sold way more than what they talked about there. But thank you all very much. If you have any questions, let me know. Contact your team captain if you need anything, and let's make that 130,000 look like nothing. Okay. Hey, man. Yes. Yes. Steve Passon, would you like to? No. Yeah, of course they are. Yeah. It can be whatever you want them to be. All right, don't forget to put the chairs up. Just not against the wall. Please, not against the wall. At least an 8. And anything else for the good of Rotary? We're adjourned. Good to see you all.